All right, man. So it's taken me like 5 days to get this out, and I just didn't want to record it because I just couldn't. I don't know. It's just. I'm really salty. But the Celtics, they got beaten six by the Heat, and it really sucks, man. Overall, what this video is gonna be is basically, is this season a failure? What happened this season, and looking ahead to the future. So I mean, basically, losing to the Heat is just something I didn't see happening. It ended up happening. We could have won game six. We played a great game up until the fourth quarter, and it just got blown open, and we lost, man. There's nothing more to say. Overall, man, if you would have told me when we knew that Kyrie was out on us after last year during the summer, he promised that, he'd sign with us. He's planning on re-signing next year, whatever, whatever. That was obviously a lie. He lied to every single fan inside the Garden, every fan that he's watching on TV. That's why Celtics fans hate this dude. He literally lied to all of us, and he's an idiot. But if you would have told me when I knew that he left, and then I saw Al Horford leave, if you would have told me we would make it to Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, I would have said how. How in the world? And how? Well, what they did was they signed Kemba Walker, who was great all year for the Celtics, man. Kemba truly was great. Kemba played such a role that Tatum and Brown needed as a leader and as a mentor and as a guy that's just gonna, you know, pat you on the back 24/7, man. Kemba wasn't like Kyrie. He's obviously not as good as Kyrie was, but Kemba's a really cool dude, and he's a really good locker room guy, and I think he really helped the Celtics, form an even closer relationship. And they go out and they draft Grant Williams, who had a great year, great run in the playoffs whenever he got touches. They signed Dennis Cantor, and they had guys like Tice who just stepped up, man. And they had guys like Robert Williams who they drafted last year. He's just stepped up, man. And Brad Wanamaker, who they had last year, just stepped up. They developed these guys, and then they got Kemba. And before we knew it, we were in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, man. And to think that how empty I felt, dude, when I was looking at our roster, and it was just Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Hayward, and like Tice and Smart. And there was no Kemba. And it was just like, all right, dude, we're probably going to be like the fifth seed. We'll see how it goes. And this was even when Tatum came off his, I wouldn't say bad second year in the league, but it wasn't what it should have been. You know what I mean? He had a great rookie year. Second year kind of was like, eh. And then his third year, he just exploded. This was before he just went crazy. And this was also when Jaylen Brown had just got that extension, and I was okay with it because I knew Jaylen was good. But again, thinking back, I didn't know Jaylen was going to be this good. And then they came out this year, and Jaylen was insane. Tatum turned out to be insane. Kemba was just great for this team. Smart was just so improved. Tice was so improved. Wanamaker and Williams, both the Williams were just so good for this team, man. And obviously Cantor. Um, it sucks looking back right now that they lost in Game 6, yes. But looking even farther back, in reality, I didn't see them being there at the beginning of the year. Or during the offseason last year. And they got there, man. So that's why overall this season wasn't a failure for the Celtics. These guys are 23, 22 with Jaylen and Tatum, and Kemba's this is gonna be his second year. That was his first year. Who knows with Hayward? Tice and Smart are still gonna be there. This team is just gonna get better. It's not like they're gonna get worse. And with the bubble and everything, you gotta understand it must be difficult for these guys, especially these young guys. Like some of these guys are really taking advantage of it, but I'm sure guys like Tatum and Brown, who have already been to an Eastern Conference Finals, who have already ran through the playoffs, these guys probably felt a little bit weird because they're so used to being in Boston, they're so used to getting hyped up by the home crowd, and they didn't have that. Um, Hopefully next year we'll have that. I don't know. I don't know with everything going on in the world. But yeah, like like I said earlier, man, like if you would have told me this team would have made Game 6 of the NBA Finals, including everything that went on, or NBA Eastern Conference Finals, including everything that went on with COVID, all the all the controversy in the country. Jaylen Brown's out here being one of the best leaders in the entire NBA, civil rights wise. Like he is straight up. He after that I don't remember if it was a shooting or something happened, and Jaylen Brown literally took a bus or some shit, or like took a car and drove like 16 hours to Georgia and marched in Atlanta. Like it was this guy was fighting, dude. And it's just like this team, I just love this team, man. You got to give them credit. I love every single player on this team. That's why this season is not a failure because they're going to come back next year and they're going to be even stronger. And who knows what the team will look like next year. Obviously, they're going to have Tatum and Brown and Smart. And they're probably most likely definitely going to have Kemba. They're not going to trade Kemba even though he struggled in the playoffs a little bit. For Hayward, who knows, man. There have been some trades floating around. I don't know what to make of some of these trades. It's tough. Like if the Celtics could get a big, it'd be great. But it's like Tice played great, and he wasn't like as aggressive offensively. But and Tice off the bench would be even better. But I don't know if we could get a big without giving up Tice. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think of like bigs that we could get. Like Miles Turner. You're probably gonna have to give up Tice to get Miles Turner. I don't know how in the like Hayward, Tice. Like I don't know exactly what the Celtics could do. But there are some possibilities out there. I don't know if I would change the team too much because this is a really good team. A really good team. And I think this is going to be one of those teams where this year is just another year where it's like, all right, this is what we are. Let's get better. Let's get better at what we're not good at. You know, let's do these things. You know, another year for Brad to learn, man. And I think they're going to come back next year and they're going to be just as good as they were this year, man. They're going to be just another threat to the finals, you know. Um, but like I said, they could trade for a big like Miles Turner or Jared Allen from the Nets. I just don't know exactly how the money would work on that. I'm sorry that you're hearing a racetrack outside my window, but that's literally what it is. But yeah, man. So this season definitely wasn't a failure. It sucks that it ended the way it did because I had such high hopes. But looking back, like way back, like a year ago back, like over a year ago back actually, which is just insane because of everything that went on. I never thought they'd beat Game 6 of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. And they made it, man. Obviously, down the stretch, I was being more and more convinced, but they made it, man. And it looks like the Lakers are about to win the championship. They just beat the shit out of the Heat. They beat them by like 30. And in the process of them beating them by 30, Jimmy rolled his ankle, Bam got hurt, and Goran Dragic tore his plantar fasciitis or some shit. So, they're done. LeBron's going to win his 4th ring. We can have a whole different another segment on that, man. Talking about LeBron and his 4th ring, man. But, it's going to do it for this video, man. Trying to stay positive out here.